Refusal Criteria. Chapter 5. The cat is in the bag and the bag is in the river. When Sam awoke, he jostled around in the back seat of the car, trying to gain his bearings. He sat up in a drunken stupor and saw Richey barreling down a dirt road with eyes, as always, glued to the rearview mirror. He lay back down and chuckled to himself. What a crazy freaking dream. The pain hit him as he rubbed his eyes. He pulled his hand back to see a throbbing thumbnail that was black as coal. The realization nearly made him pass back out. Slowly, like a scared kid peeking into a neighbor's window, he raised to eye level above the seat. Richey's eyes dropped from the cloud of dust trailing behind them to lock with Sam's through the mirror. With a friendly voice, Richey said in, "Hey you, it sure felt good to finally get caught up on some sleep. You must have been tired too. You were out like a light. I will tell you one thing, I could use some grub. You missed the Badlands, but the Black Hills are coming up. I've always wanted to see the Black Hills. Then out to Deadwood, now there's a town. Ol' Wild Bill and the Dead Man's Hand. Aces and eights, wasn't it? Aces and eights?" Richey paused, waiting for a response. But Sam was frozen, peeking over the seat, unable to speak or even fully comprehend what was happening. "Yeah, that was it. Aces and eights. Holy smokes, a buffalo. Let's get some grub and check out the buffalo. We need gas anyway. What do you say? Hey, what do you say?" All Sam could manage was, "What?" Richey chuckled. "Buffalo? Grub? I need to get out. I think I'm going to be sick." The car rolled to a stop in front of a metal building, which was a combination Native American gas station, museum, tourist shop, and restaurant that even had a hot, tired buffalo in a small corral, looking dehydrated and hungry, with two big patches of fur missing from his hump. Sam opened the door and managed to pull himself to his feet. Once upright, the full brunt of his headache hit him like a sledgehammer to the thumb. He put one foot in front of the other and staggered on wobbly sea legs towards the door. Richey reached to offer help at the steps, but Sam slapped his hand away and took the wooden rail instead. Once they reached the table, Sam centered himself and dropped into the seat. Richey ordered a club sandwich and an iced tea. Sam stared blankly past him while he ordered. "And you, sir?" "Excuse me, sir," Richey said with a warm smile. "He's good." As she walked away, Sam retorted, "I'm not good." Sam stared without emotion at Richey. They were silent until the waitress dropped off the sandwich. Richey hunched over and devoured it with lip-smacking delight. Every couple of bites, he would look up at the dazed man and giggle. "West. We should keep heading west." "I'm not leaving here." Richey burst into a lungful of heavy laughter. "Not leaving. Whatever. You are a piece of work, my friend." Sam was unamused. "I'm not your friend, and I am not leaving this place." Richey smiled. "You are one sick bastard. Now I thought I was a little loose, but you are off the rails, my friend. The things you did to that farmer. Jesus!" Richey shook his head, raising his eyebrows. "What farmer?" "You are a piece of work. You remember, don't you?" Sam stared, unamused. "What are you talking about? The farmer that caught you stealing his tools? Starting to ring a bell? You just had to look in the trunk, didn't you? Well, you clobbered him good, but seriously, one time would have done it. You caved his damn skull in with the sledgehammer." "Bullshit. And to take a souvenir, that is a whole nother level. Oh, I got your attention now? Look in your left jeans pocket." Sam reached in the left pocket of his black Levi's. They felt wet, and it was difficult to slide his hand in. The lock blade was gone, and all he felt was a couple of pebbles, but as he slowly pulled his hand out of his pocket, he saw the skin being exposed on the back of his hand was reddish-orange. Once his hand emerged, he rolled it over and found himself looking at two blood-stained front teeth. He looked up stunned and exclaimed, "You put these in my pocket." Richey shrugged and responded, "Yeah, well, tell it to the judge, son. Looks like we better get back on the road." Sam's mind began to swirl with possibilities. "What did you do?" Laughing, Richey said, "You are the master, my friend. Let's move." "No way. I told you I was done. There is nothing on this earth that will make me get back in that car with you." Sam leaned forward with an intense stare, stating slowly, "Nothing." "Fine. Suit yourself. But I ain't taking your friend. I am going to dump him on the ground and hit the road. Then you will be rid of me. Just you and your dead friend." "But," he said with a chuckle, "those blood-soaked pants are going to be tricky to explain." Oh, I guess you can run out there and pretend to give him mouth to mouth and say you got bloody that way. But these fine folks watched us pull in here together. That would be a bit of a pickle. Well, you'll figure it out. Richey tossed a $100 bill on the table and walked toward the door. He was loudly reciting the words to Charlie Daniels' Uneasy Rider as he strolled, drawing everyone's attention. When I hit the road, I was really wheelin', had gravel flying and rubber squealin'. His singing drew the attention of everyone in the diner. The lyrics faded as he walked out the screen door, down the stairs, and toward the car. His walk was more of a strut to the rhythm of an imaginary beat. His mouth was still working the lyrics. The car was facing the plate glass windows in the front of the diner. Richey had become a bit of a curiosity to the other diners with his little performance. Richey went straight to the trunk and raised the lid. Sam's heart sunk with dread. No way he pulls a dead body out of the trunk, right here in front of a dozen diners and the waitress. He looked around the diner and noticed that every eye was on that car. Sam looked away, but his attention was jerked back to the windows when he heard his name. Richey's head was peering around the trunk lid as he shouted to the building, "Sammy boy, is this where you want it?" "Your friend. Where do you want me to leave your friend?" "Right here." In his peripheral, he saw 3 of the diners turn their heads and look squarely at him. All he could think of was that car driving away and leaving a pile of dead farmer behind. How many people would be staring then? He had no money, no wheels, no way out. He did not even know if Richey was this guy's real name. Sam suddenly popped to his feet and scurried across the floor to head out the front door in a trot. "Okay, just shut the trunk and we'll go." All Sam wanted was to get out of there. Richey slammed the lid and slid into the driver's seat before Sam could jump in. The car was on the highway accelerating before Sam could even get his seatbelt on. Sam stared out the side window without a word. He watched the line of the barbed wire fence oscillate up and down as the fence posts blurred out of existence. As he stared out of the window, he could only think of one solution: Richey in the trunk and the car in the river. But did he have it in him to kill another person? Even a serial killer like this guy? He did not know, but as the car sped towards inevitability, he had a feeling that told him it would happen when the time was right.